This program is a production of WGBH-TV Boston in association with the Humor Potential. This program is made possible by annual financial support from viewers like you and Tufts Health Plan, with nearly 14,000 doctors and 86 hospitals in New England. Tufts Health Plan offers preventive health and wellness activities to promote healthier lifestyles for over 600,000 members. 1-800-56-HEALTH.
Thank you. Boy, thanks a lot. I'm so glad to be here, but then I'm glad to be anywhere. The alternative is not good, is it? Every moment we have is a precious moment, isn't it? Because it's the moment we're in. And that's what makes it sacred. And you know, if you really honor your moments, you actually have less stress, because you're more in touch with the reality you're in. But unfortunately, most of us really don't understand this message, do we? We're either talking about regrets, about the past, or we're into thinking about what's going to happen next. And as a result, we drag ourselves around like we're in a funeral procession. Oh, God, I'm dead. I'm dead tired. I'm dead on my feet. What a sad way to live. And you know, this is universal. I travel a lot, and I'm in a lot of airports. And I watch people and, you know, what they're doing. And I'm in and out of planes all the time. And I'm telling you, you just can't believe what goes on. We were going someplace recently, and they had canceled 2 flights because of mechanical difficulties. Now, you think people get the point. What are you going to do? Get in a plane with 1 wing and a rudder? But it starts. Now what are we going to do? We're going to wait for a plane. Unless you know how to fly yourself. Finally, you know, our turn came. We got the flight. And, of course, there was a lot of people waiting to get on board. Now, do you think they were happy that they finally got a flight? God forbid. No, it started again. And they're going on the plane. Wonder when it's going to leave. You know it's probably not going to leave on time. Now, I had a seat all the way in the back. And, you know, finally everybody's sitting here and there, and, you know, people are still at it. Look it. There's no bin. Where's a bin? I need a bin. Wouldn't you think they'd have bigger bins? Meanwhile, this woman has a trunk from hell. Looks like she has a dead body in it. She's trying to stuff it up there in this compartment for mouse luggage. So I thought, I'm gonna try to be as zany as possible, because maybe it'll help these folks out. So as I went down the aisle, I said, "Hi! God, it's great to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. How you been?" Now, they looked at me like, hey, who is this woman? This is some bizarro, you know? And this, I love to watch people. People watching is so much fun, isn't it? Because this is where you get a lot of comedy. And there's 3 men sitting together on one side. And, you know, the seats are really close, right? And men really don't want to get close. I mean, this is not about male bashing. This is the way it is. I mean, this is my space. The three men are like this. And they're trying to read the paper. They all have a paper. So I couldn't help myself. I said, isn't this exciting? Look how close you are. You're right into male bonding, aren't you? This is terrific. And finally, I got in my seat, and I thought, this is a perfect time to sing a song. I thought, I'm just going to start singing. So I did. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then you really gotta show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Isn't that great? And you know what? They all started singing. I think most of us are just dying for relief. What do you think? Now, the latest thing is to worry about what's going to happen to you after you're not here. There's all kinds of books. Forget the future. Now we want to know what's going to happen after we're dead. So there's all kinds of books about what might happen to you after you're dead. You know, I heard a great story about what might happen to you after you're dead. There was these two gentlemen, Herbie and Mervyn. And they were, rather elderly. They used to just sit on the bench. So, what do you think, Herbie? I don't know. What do you think, Mervyn? I haven't got much time. I haven't got much time either. Let's make a pact. Herbie, you should die first. You come and tell me what's going on. So, guess what? Herbie died. Mervyn's laying in bed one night. He sees Herbie. He's there, looking at him. Oh, he says, Herbie, my God, you came back. What's going on? Where are you? I need to know. I'm really concerned. He says, well, he says, it ain't bad. He says, I get up in the morning, I have breakfast, then I have sex till noon. Then I have a little lunch, and I have sex until dinner. He says, then I have my dinner, a little more sex, I go to bed. I'm really satisfied and content. He says, my God. He says, where are you? He says, I'm a bull in Colorado. Now, I think what might be a great shift in paradigms, you hear that all the time, is if we all decided that the moment we were in was the most exciting moment of our lives. Because you know what? It is, isn't it? Because that's all you got. You don't know what's going to happen after that moment. You don't know what's going to happen after tonight. So how about shouting to the rooftops every day when you wake up, I'm glad to be alive. Wouldn't that be different? Wouldn't that be unbelievable? Imagine leaving your house. I'm so glad to be alive. What if you went into work? What if you sauntered in? But not without a prop, because life is like a Broadway show. Get into work with your top hat, your cane, walk in the door. I'm so glad to be alive. Wouldn't that be fun? And most of you are sitting here thinking, what is she, crazy? What would happen? Oh, maybe things would change in this universe. Maybe we'd pass around a different kind of mood. And I can't go without having all of you sing this with me. Because I need you to feel the energy of what I'm talking about. Because I don't think even our energy is where it's supposed to be most of the time. Do you? We could be up here someplace. But we're satisfied with being here. I don't feel that good. And you don't look so hot either. So let's all stand up right now. Let's take advantage of this wonderful moment. We're all here together with all these uniquely wonderful people in this room. Are you ready? On the count of 3. Here we go. Hit it, Ray. We're so glad to be alive. Great. Boy, you people are great. You can sit back down. You know, another thing that being in the moment does is it gives you the ability to sort of handle your imperfections. Like to say, hey, this is what exists. It's not such a big deal. Don't you hear people always complaining about how they look? Oh, I don't look good. I don't know what to do. This doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. Do you know that most of us spend a fortune on products to look good? It's been said that we put on 21 products in the morning to appear natural. I remember doing things like that. I had a fetish with cellulite. You know what cellulite is? How many of you know? It's just supposed to be some dimply thing that is put all over the body so you can go nuts. I mean, I was really, truly obsessed. I would always be looking, especially at the back of my legs. I should have had a rearview mirror. And I put potions and scrubbed. And then, you know, it finally hit me. I never was going to have anybody that short following me. I used to spend tons of money on eye makeup to make my eyes look bigger. Like someone was going to come up close and go, oh, I've noticed they're a millimeter larger this day. You know, as I age, and thank God I'm aging, I'm thinking this isn't so bad. You know, it's not so bad. I'm short. That's it. Not getting any taller. I'm vertically challenged. I get in the tub and I laugh. I look down and I see folds. I don't even need to buy pleated skirts anymore. I am a pleated skirt. Seriously, this happened. I was in the tub, and I was noticing that certain things are now covering other things. I have to pick up stuff to get underneath other stuff. Have any of you noticed things like this? One day, I lost the soap. And you know what? It fell out during a lecture. Most of us don't realize that we can't do much about what's going on. It's just happening, isn't it? And you can fight it to a certain degree. And whoever is up there in their wisdom has done some pretty good things. Because as you age, yes, things double up. But you can't see them as well. So I think this is a good time right now for all of us to honor our imperfections because they are part of who we are and they allow us to resonate in the moment even more if we really do accept who we are. Because this is our own true nature and it's very special, isn't it? So let's all put our arms around ourselves. Okay? Just put your arms around yourself. Oh, you are so marvelous. And on the count of 3. I just want you to repeat after me. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Every day.
Every day.
In every way.
In every way.
I think I'm such a treasure.
I think I'm such a treasure.
And that's why I'm here.
And that's why I'm here.
To give myself pleasure.
To give myself pleasure.
Another way of really enjoying yourself, too, going back to the moments, is to think back in time a little bit about what you used to be like and sort of try to get a little giggle out of it. I don't know about you, but I used to be a people pleaser. How many of you were a people pleaser? God, I was possessed. If everyone was happy, then I was happy. Are you happy? Is that right? Are you happy? I hope you're happy. If you're not happy, I can't be happy. Can I breathe? Can I breathe now, please? Please let me breathe. I was also a perfectionist. I had to do everything. Everything was done by me, personally. I did things from scratch. Does anybody know what that means, from scratch? I handmade, wove, did everything. And I was always ready to show off what I did. People would come in. They'd say, I like your walls. I painted them. I like your drapes. I made them myself. I smell bread. Yes, I baked it. Are those your children? Yes, I had them myself. Do you remember the silly things people said years ago that were perfectionists? I was one of them. You could eat off my floor. Well, isn't that special? Imagine sending someone an invitation, come over and eat off my floor. I was also a slave to rules. How many of you, really can think about rules and regulations you might have had in the past or may even have till right now? I'm telling you, I was possessed. I would do things and not even know why I was doing them. And one of the stories that I like to tell is about the time when I had rather a small epiphany. I was cooking a roast beef, and before I cooked the roast beef, I always took the ends off and threw it away. But I had no idea why I was doing it. And it came to me one day after throwing out all this meat. I said, I should find out why I'm getting rid of this meat. So I called my mother. Because I watched her do it. I figured that was, that's the reason you do these things. You see someone else do them, right? So I said, Ma, why do we cut the ends off the meat when we cook it? She says, I don't know. Why don't you call your grandmother? Ask her. That's how I did it. So I did. I called my grandmother. I said, why do we cut the ends off the meat? She said, I don't know why you're doing it. I did it because it didn't fit in the pan. I bet to this day some of you are still doing things and you don't have any clue as to why you're doing it. But you'll tell people, I have to do it. I have to do it that way. Why? Because that's how you do it. Corporate cultures are filled with people who can't change because someone will give an idea and they'll say, oh, no, we haven't done that. We don't do it here. Why? Because we don't do it. Never did it before. Okay, fine, then keep doing the same thing. Get the pan, put the meat in, that's the end. How many of you are martyrs? Any of you martyrs? Oh, I'm telling you, I was the worst. The worst. I would just, if I was thinking I was being taken advantage of, I would just go in and pout. Oh, God, they just don't understand. I would sit with the lip. Everybody would be outside. Then somebody would come in just to try to find out if I would go out. And they'd say, what's the matter? And what's the answer? Nothing. If you loved me, you'd know. Lots of luck. Now, how does all this happen? Why do we forget to enjoy ourselves? How do we get so serious? How serious is this? Well, I want you to think about something. All of us are born with incredible possibilities, aren't we? We all have this exquisite ability to be creative, to have wonder and joy in our life and unlimited possibilities. But you know what? What happens? Robert Bly talks about the shadow bag. I like to call it the committee. You can call it the group. You can call it whatever you want. But everybody sitting here has people who talk to them in their heads. And they share a lot of information with you. Some of them are dead and they're still talking to you. And you may want to just think of some of the messages that you heard right now, but I'm going to share some of the ones that I think are, you know, pretty across the board. How many of you heard, "What are you staring at?" You see, most kids do a lot of daydreaming, don't they? They just daydream. You know, they sit there. And what do you say? "What are you looking at? Isn't that silly? Why aren't you doing something? Why aren't you doing something? What are you, in La La Land?" Now, you've grown up. You're nervous. You're upset. You're stressed. You go to a clinic. They say, "We want you to stare." Want you to look at something and just be. Just look and be. What is that? Back to La La Land. Things we knew as children that were really wisdom, you know, filled with wisdom, we put in the bag, and we have to be told by other people to do it later. See, if it costs money, we believe it. Somebody's doing it naturally, we say, "Stop it. This is ridiculous." How about singing? How many of you just used to belt it out, you know? You didn't even have to make a rhyme or reason out of it. You see little kids, they go, "La, la, 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 la." No rhyme or reason, right? What do you hear? Be quiet. Be quiet. And then, my mother's favorite, "Did you hear me?" No, I didn't hear anything. I heard nothing at all. She had to say it in such a loud voice that I almost fell over. "Did you hear me? Stop that racket." And so many of us have trapped our voice inside of us, haven't we? And some of us speak very quietly. "I can't say very much because my voice is inside. And I have to be nice. I have to be a nice person and talk like this." These people are serial killers for the most part. How about adventure? How many of us were full of adventure? Do you recall times when you were jumping up and down on your bed? How many of you have been jumping up and down your bed lately? Not unless it's in a magazine. They told you to jump up and down a magazine, you do it. Especially if it would add to your relationship. Oh, let's all jump tonight on the bed. But when you're a kid and you're doing it, what do you hear? "Get off the bed. I just made it." Wow, isn't that good? Like that's a skill we should all learn. We really need to make beds all the time. These are things people do in rehab. You make the bed, you unmake the bed. You make the bed, you unmake the bed. Go over the edge, this is the kind of things you do. But you weren't supposed to be adventuresome. My mother always had something to say about the things that I did that might hurt me. I might hurt myself. You're going to hurt yourself. She told me that so many times, I believe it now. You're going to hurt yourself. You are going to hurt yourself. Now, please don't come running to me when you break your leg. Then you wonder why we get irrational. Does that make any sense? Don't run with that stick in your hand. You're going to poke your eye out. You can't poke your eye out. You can poke it in, but you can't poke it out. How about dancing? Kids dance. I have, almost 9 grandchildren. Every one of them is dancing. All the time, I see them. Little Anthony, 17 months old, he hears music. When's the last time you danced? How many of you dance? And you know, one of the best things to do is to dance naked in your house. Stuff flies all over the place. One goes here, something goes there. I almost knocked myself out one day. But what does the voice say that wants you to put part of yourself in the bag? And don't get me wrong, we learned some good things, too, from our folks and from those people along the way. But some of the stuff took away our inner joy and the things we could use to cope with stress. And some of these things, now you have to go someplace and they teach you to do them again. That's the point. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for some of you to relive some of your childhood. And get in the mood, get in the swing of things, and let's all kind of bop around and dance together. Because when the world is starting to close in on you, there's nothing like dancing. You can do it, outside of your car in traffic. Just sort of get out of your car, just do a little thing on the highway. Hey, we're stuck together, come on out. So how about it? What do you think? Let's all get up, come on. Here we go. And I want you to just do your thing. Come on, do your thing. Come on, move around. Here again. Everybody move around in your space. Come on. Woo-hoo! Little cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Woohoo! What a great way to leave work. Yay! You're looking good. Great. You look terrific. You can sit back down. You know what's amazing about this? Is people are always talking about energy. Now, doesn't your energy feel greater than it was before with each one of these little things? And they're so simple. Do they cost anything? No. You can do them any place. You can be a self-amuser. How about silliness? God, I wish more adults were silly. I'm so tired of puss faces. We really need to change the look on our faces, folks. Let's get silly. But you know, it's hard to do, isn't it? Because, you know, that person, whoever it was, said, be serious. You think you're having fun now, don't you? It won't last. Remember when you used to make funny faces? Kids are always making funny faces, aren't they? I like to make them in elevators. See, I think we need to reduce pomposity wherever we go. And elevators are definitely pompous. People stand there, and they're afraid. It's like... Don't touch me. Don't ever come close. And I love to walk in. The first thing I do is I never turn around the way they are. I just stare at them. Then I yell, "Let's hug." People crack up. We're all afraid of what? What are we afraid of? The face police? All right, now this is what we're going to do. We're going to do something else. And you need a partner to do it. Everybody pick a partner. Pick a partner. You have to look happy while you're picking your partner. Okay, now decide who's going to go first and who's going to go second. Okay, raise your hand if you're going to go first. All right, anybody who raised their hand to go first is going to go second. I love to do that because who would do that? A kid, right? All right, now, very quickly, one of you makes 2 or 3 faces, and I want you to go back in time and dig out some of those faces you made as a kid, and I want you to forget what you look like, who's watching you, and you know what? Who cares? Nobody here is going to report you to anybody. Now, the person you're with is going to imitate the faces you're making. And then I want you to reverse so that the other person gets a turn and you imitate their face. Ready, go. Everybody have a turn? Now, how did it feel? Terrific. Felt silly. Is that good? Certainly is. Did your committee object? Did you hear little voices? Oh, my God. Isn't this stupid? Now you look like an ass. Well, you probably did that before you met me. On your own. And you know, there's something to be said for making faces. I met the head of plastic surgery at a hospital at one of my talks, and he said that everyone sort of gets into a mask-like kind of look as they age. We sort of get set in our facial expressions. So it's very important to sort of do some aerobic conditioning of the facial muscles. Just wake up and start right in. And your body will be happier for it. Now, how about laughing? People really don't laugh enough, and you've got to make sure you're getting those belly laughs, because you'll get sick if you don't. And if you don't laugh, remember, that's another opportunity for them to take you away. And I'm sure you heard, when are you going to grow up, right? When, I mean, you're telling this to a 3-year-old. When are you going to grow up? I don't know. Not if it means looking like you. I don't think so. And how about enthusiasm? Wouldn't it be nice if we were more enthusiastic? You know, the word enthusiasm means the God within. And I think it's a very special word. If all of us could be more enthusiastic, we'd have a much better experience at living, wouldn't we? And I know things happen, and sometimes they really make us feel dreadful. But even if you just pretend and live as if sometimes, you'll feel better for it. So let's just, right now, try a little experiment with the word wow. You know, I don't hear enough wows. Do you hear enough wows? Like, wow! But, you know, most adults will go, wow, wow, wow. Well, let's try it in a very small way, and let's build to the most unbelievable wow we can really get out of our lips. All right? Are you ready? Here we go. Wow. 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 Wow! And wow! Woo! I am an incredible student of stress management. I don't say incredible, that's probably the wrong word, but I just love the whole concept because I keep wondering, how do we get stressed? Well, much of our stress and emotional suffering comes from the way we think. How many of you believe that? The way we think. And I'll tell you, I'm a master at it. I can drive myself nuts in 2 minutes. And I'm going to explain some of that to you. Thoughts that cause us stress are usually negative, unrealistic, and distorted. They're knee-jerk responses. That's why they call them automatic. Have you noticed that they just pop out? You're just there, wherever you are. Let's say you're in a parking lot, driving around. All of a sudden, you say to yourself, "Ha! They took all the spaces. They took them all." Now, who are they? We don't know who they are, but we're certain that there's a plot. That people get up, before we do, get in their car, drive to the parking lot, put their car in our space. This is totally distorted, isn't it? But we believe it. That's what makes it irrational. Many of these things really have an incredible amount of stuff in them that could make our lives a daily sitcom if we would only pay attention to the things that we say. And there happens to be some examples that I would like to share with you. One of them is very simple. We've all been through this. This is a terrific kind of distortion that people have gone through. How many have gone through the movies? You go to the movies and you think, I'm going to pick the right seat. I'm going to pick the right seat. And you look around, I got it. I got the right seat. No one's in front of me. Not a soul. This is good. Now I sit down. I'm ready for a good night. 3 people saunter around there looking for the good seat, too. They sit in front of you. One of them has a big head. All of a sudden, you can't see that good. And you start in. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Why me? Why me? Huh, not again. Not again. Why do I always get the people with big heads? Now I won't see a thing. My whole night is ruined. Now, you took something very simple and you turned it into some horrible event for yourself, and now you're not going to have a good time because you have all these distortions going on in your mind. And they're all automatic, aren't they? Now, I want to share with you my favorite irrational statements and some funny little ways of handling them, okay? The first one is the need to be right. How many of you like to be right? I mean, you know you are right. You've been right since you were born. I'm right. I knew I was right. I was right before. I'm right now. I will always be right. I have kept a lot of information that shows that I am the grand poobah of righteousness. Second one is rules and regulations. Some people have incredible rules and regulations. The forks must go into the fork section. They cannot contaminate the knife section because this is a grievous error. The dishwasher must be stacked by them exclusively because they know exactly how to stack it. How many of you like this? Raise your hand. Now, the irony is that afterwards these people complain. And they tell their friends and family, I'm always stacking it. Do you think anybody would help me stack? Think about it. Why should they? They've never done it right. You've told them 1,000,000 times. Now they're laying on the sofa. La, 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 la. And you're stacking. And you're mad. How about heaven's reward fallacy? This is the martyr. This is what they call, this is the distortion of martyrdom. Because you're too good to be true. I mean, you are so good. So decent, so unbelievably good. I mean, you will go to any extreme to be loved and honored. And everybody around you is thinking, for God's sake, will they ever get a life? And martyrs have wonderful dialogue, and one of my favorites is, I only have 2 hands. Well, you're fine. How many people have 7 or 8? How about baggage handling? That's the individual who has a suitcase full of past grievances. They never forget a thing. Never. They can go back to the womb. The womb was not a good place. They did not have enough space in the womb. They wrote that down. I was bumping around in there. I didn't like it. They didn't like the way they came out. I landed on a cold table. Was very unhappy. And it goes on and on and on. My mother never forgets a thing. I mean, this woman can remember from BC. Anytime we have a small argument, she goes back into the suitcase and starts it. You were a breached birth. You were painful then, and you still are. Never ends. How about the blame game? How many of you are convinced that other people have a lot to do with the way you feel? It's them. It's them. I eat because they make me nervous. I always have to eat when they make me nervous, and I've been eating for 40 years. They're dead, but I'm still eating. They ruined my night. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It doesn't work, folks. It really doesn't work, because who really is in charge of your happiness? You. No one else can make you happy, and nothing they've done can make you unhappy unless you misinterpret and decide that you're a victim of other people. And then they have a great deal of power, and then you get terribly upset. How about mind reading? How many of you are prophets in your own time? When someone says, let's go to the movies, you say, it's going to be crowded. When you say, let's go to the store, there'll be a lot of people there. We won't be able to get in. When you say it's a beautiful day, it's going to rain Friday. Well, I think costumes really lend themselves to mind reading because it's so incredibly funny. And if I were you, I'd get yourself a little cape. This is a wonderful little cape here. And I think you should become a prophet in your own time. And, just walk around your house. Get yourself a little crystal ball. And when someone says, let's go to that restaurant I just heard about, you can look and say no. I don't think the food's going to be very good. Now, you can tell prophecies. Put a sign up outside your door. You may even win the lottery. You'll also get a good laugh at yourself. If you can do that, then you've really come a long way. Because you see, when you laugh at your own distortions, you are a compassionate witness to your life. And then you understand that you're the sitcom, which you really are. How about false expectations? This is one of my big ones. I have a lot of false expectations. Anybody here have false expectations? Oh, God, do I make myself nuts. Especially about romantic illusion. Oh, I'm always thinking I'm going to consistently have a romantic relationship. And I'm always reading all these books and magazines. 12 Steps to Better Sex. I mean, give me a break. What, are you supposed to be laying there and you say, you forgot 4. I read this thing about the candles. The candles are good. Lots of candles around the bedroom for a glow. And I had a whole list of things. I thought, I'm going to try them. The pink bulb. I got the pink bulb. I put that in. I got the candles. I cleaned the house. I got the flowers. I got the right meal. I bought the lingerie. They tell you to get that lingerie. And you know, it's always slippery. You ever notice that? You'd like fall right out of the bed. You put it on, you're out. You're on the floor. I like to wear the high knee socks, the flannels. So this was a stretch for me to put the slimy lingerie on. Now, I did everything I thought was accurate for this illusion. I was exhausted. My husband came home. He was tired, too. So we laid down, and guess what? We fell asleep. We woke up, the bedroom was on fire. Now, we all know, don't we, that there comes a point in a relationship where comfort sets in and you have to sort of handle that reality, don't you? And, you know, that happens. I finally realized that. And the other day I was sitting there and I was looking at my husband and I was thinking, wow, you know, been married 16 years. That's pretty good. And I was thinking the first time, you know, we were in bed together, we were laying there like two little spoons. And, you know, he got up and he had to go to the bathroom. And I said, oh, God, come back soon. I can't stand it when you're away from me. And don't forget to put the light on. I don't want you to trip. And then I thought, to here and now and today, I'm on my side of the bed. Before he gets in, he has like a ritual, flushing and flossing and gargling and God only knows what. It's like 15 minutes. I'm laying there waiting. I think finally he's going to get into the bed. Gets in the bed, puts the light out. All of a sudden, he puts the light back on. I said, what are you doing? So I have to go to the bathroom. So what do you need the light on for? Says, what if I trip? Who the hell cares? Things change, don't they? How about personalization? How many of you, you know, you think that everybody's looking at you. Oh, God, they said that. They don't like me. They're looking at me. I know they see that wart on my face. They're going to report it. Nobody's looking at you because they're worried that you're looking at them. Fallacy of fairness. I should be taller. I should be richer. I should be thinner. It's not fair. Nothing's fair. I haven't gotten mine yet. Well, that's true. You probably never will. And global labeling. This is prominent in our society. Always, never, it's never going to end. Every time I go there, that happens. No one pays attention. Everything is happening to me. Well, now you know you got universal suffering. You're never going to get out of it. It's going to go on and on and on till the day you die. Now, I have a story that sums up these cognitive distortions that comes together in one of my favorite stories. My husband and I went on a trip to Captiva Island. How many of you have been to Captiva Island? Well, you know there's a bridge that you have to go over, and there's a toll booth, and you have to pay a toll. Now, I don't know if this is a man thing, but I think men have to have the toll in advance. What do you think? I don't think women are that interested. Well, my husband likes to have the toll in advance, but he was also in the Air Force, so he's really big into landmarks. He likes to report what we're seeing. Me, I could care less. I'm in the car, I'm in the moment. La, 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 la. We're driving along. There's an egret on the left. Now he sees the sign. Toll booth. 3 miles. $3. He reports it. There's a toll booth in 3 miles. That's like a half a day for me. Now, I want you to realize that a lot of the cognitive distortions are in this story. He says, I need 3 $1 bills. We have to get the rule right. 3 $1 bills. I said, all right, I'll look. Now, I don't know about anybody here, but I have a pocketbook that's like an abyss. I could make a pizza out of this. I could do electrolysis services. I could put on a meal for 12. But I can't find anything in it. So I start digging. Says, I need it now. Said, I'm looking. Said, I found some money. Said, you found some money? What did you find? Said, I found change. I have $3 worth of change. Oh, my God. What are we going to do with that? Said, you're going to pay the person. What do you mean, what are you going to do with it? Well, I can't give them $3 worth of change. I said, why not? Oh, it's too much change. Said, I don't understand you. Why is it too much change? Well, how you think I want to give them all that change? What are we going to do now? What do you mean, what are we going to do now? I said, we're either going to stay here forever or we're going over the bridge. I said, I don't understand. What is the problem? This is embarrassing. I said, this is embarrassing? I don't understand this. Well, why would you understand? You're never embarrassed. Oh, I said, not about change. If I was sitting here stark naked with change, I would be embarrassed. I knew it. Then he always goes into the next phase, which is to find some kind of analogy that I'm going to understand. He says, what if the bridge was $100 and you gave me $100 worth of change? I said, this is the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. I don't know a place in the world where there's a bridge that costs $100. I knew you wouldn't understand. Now, up until this point, I was trying to be a compassionate witness. But inside, my little committee was getting pissed. And one of the ways I get back is I play my little know-it-all, little sarcastic part. And we got to the toll, and what could he do? He said, give me the money. I handed it to him, but I looked over at the toll booth person, and I said, excuse me, miss, does it bother you if we give you change? And will you tell anybody about it? Well, you can figure that that was the end of that romantic little excursion. This story must touch a lot of people because I have told it quite often, and much to my husband's dismay. And I have actually gotten letters from people about it and received in the mail now at least 9 envelopes with 3 $1 bills. So I think that's pretty terrific. Now, if we have stress in our lives and we have this committee that gabs to us and makes us upset, can we get rid of them? Can we change them? Can we do something? Can we make ourselves happier? Are there interventions we can use? Absolutely. And I'd like to share some of those with you. One of them is breathing. Breathing. Now, you're sitting here going, oh, yeah. Of course I breathe. That's why I'm here. I'm breathing. But most people don't understand the value of the breath. You can actually reduce anxiety by the way you breathe, or you can escalate anxiety by the way you breathe. And a lot of us breathe like little dogs. And the faster you breathe, and if it's shallow breathing, it actually creates more anxiety. Have any of you felt that your breath changes when you're starting to get yourself upset? So if that's true, then paying attention to breathing can actually help us de-stress. And taking a nice, deep, full breath can make an extraordinary difference in those situations that trigger your stressors. How many of you get upset in traffic? And really, when you think about it, what's the point? These people can't hear you. You're like a raving lunatic in your car. There and there's going, oh my, look at that, huh? How many of you can't stand it when someone's channel surfing? Oh, that's one I hear all the time. Waiting in line. The Xerox machine is broken. Oh, this is evil. There are people who set out to break them every day. Someone doesn't fill the coffee pot. Leaves it empty just when you go to get a cup. Disgusting behavior. Take a deep breath. What does it do? Gives you a pause to reflect, doesn't it, without going off the deep end. But the breath needs to be done in such a way that you really feel it. So I'd like all of you right now to just take a nice deep breath. Doesn't that feel good? 2 or 3 of those, and you're going to feel like Jell-O. You know, my grandmother, my little Italian grandmother, Francesca, used to deep breathe all over the house. I didn't realize that she was doing focused breathing. You could also meditate. You can breathe, and as you breathe, when you breathe out, you say a simple phrase or a word or a prayer, and then you take another breath in, breathe out, and repeat the same word or phrase or prayer. It can be very simple. You can say peace. You can say I am calm and relaxed. You can use a prayer. Many of us pray and get the same effect because prayer is a form of meditation, isn't it? And you only need to do this maybe twice a day for 10 or 20 minutes. You sit quietly in your cozy chair and you just breathe and repeat a pleasant phrase to yourself. And you know what? You're going to see a world of difference in your life. You really will. You'll actually be more energized. I think there's a tremendous fear in all of us that we may stop for a few minutes and actually have to pay attention to that little voice inside of ourselves that tells us who we are. How many of you fear silence on some level? Because when you ask people, do they meditate, very few people raise their hands. Because in this world of ours right now, we like noise. Don't we like noise? God, you can't go any place where there's no noise. You can't go to a store where it's quiet. Imagine if you were in a store and they said, attention shoppers, we are now going to meditate. Say, what the heck's going on here? It's a cult. You go in the store, you're walking along, you're hearing constant stuff. Sometimes I just feel like screaming, shut up! I want to be quiet. But see, this is how you get to buy stuff, so that's why they play all that stuff. How about talking back to your committee? You know, we have the ability to talk back to our committee. Do you know that? When these people are going up there, yakety, 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 can you hear it? Get up, get up, get up, get up. You've been laying down too much. Get up. No more resting for you. Stop resting, stop resting, stop resting. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. And you see, our committee is so powerful that it wants other people to do things too. So you want people who have a different committee, maybe they have a relaxation committee. You start in on them. Get up, get up. Because now it's your goal to get on their committee. See, mine is big on injustice, too, aside from the other things I told you. I have a big injustice committee, you know. Well, I did that. How come on? You know, I was a good person. I did this and I did this. Anything that happens in my family that goes wrong, I review it consistently. And I know that I did the right thing. I did the right thing. I've always done the right thing. Why do they do this? Why do they do this? No matter where I am, I'm hearing this thing. Drives me right up the wall. And you know, one of the things you can do is you talk back. And you actually have to say, stop it! I went for a walk the other day. I'm walking along, and this thing was going on. I just stood in the middle of the street. I said, stop it! I'm sick of you! Jackasses! And according to cognitive therapists, the only way it really works is to actually be adamant, to really put your foot down and say, just cut it out. Sick of you. Another way of being stressless, or to use another intervention, is to be your own coach. You know, anytime you're starting to get upset again, talk to yourself in kind, compassionate ways. Just say, oh well, whatever. What are you going to do? And you know, and finally you start to wake up a little bit and you say, it's not that bad, for God's sake. How many of you have noticed that yesterday's tragedy becomes today's comedy? And those things that you drove yourself nuts about have passed, and now you're on a new agenda. How many hours and minutes and days of our lives have we given up to catastrophizing and awfulizing? I read the other day, according to this study, that I have 22 years left if I stay well. That's not a lot, is it? Man, I'm getting rid of these people. I want to go for the gusto. I want to live in inner peace and harmony. I don't need these people anymore. How about practicing comic asides? How many of you have people you live with who, you know, they just don't listen? I mean, they just don't listen. They have a nerve. I mean, for God's sake. You've been telling them to put the trash out for 20 years. They still refuse to listen. The cap on the toothpaste, always off. Even though you know that you put it on because you're a decent sort. Now, let's face it. If it hasn't worked in 20 years, 10 years, whatever, are they ever going to do it? But you can still have a heck of a good time with this stuff and get the message across with some humor. Do what they do in burlesque or in comedy. You know, while they're there, you might say, would you put out the trash? And you know it's going to go in the dead zone. While they're there, just go over to the side and have a conversation with yourself and pretend you're telling somebody else what they did. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? It's been 10 years. They have never taken the trash out. I've had to do it all myself. What do you think about that? I think it's absolutely a disgrace. And if I were you, I wouldn't put up with it at all. Let's just get out of here right now. Now, it's nutty, but it also can get you to crack up a little bit, can't it? And as long as you can keep laughing, boy, you're going to have fun in life. And how about using some positive affirmations? You know, every once in a while, just walk around and tell yourself good things. Because, you know, a lot of times people have somebody on the committee that has taught them to call themselves names. How many of you have told somebody, God, I'm such a jerk? Boy, am I an idiot. Where does this stuff come from? Something wrong with you if you have to say things like that. That's not healthy. Change it. Use some positive affirmations. Walk around and say, I am magnificent. I am absolutely awesome. Everything I do is just swell. And, you know, you'll start to feel better as a result, because whatever you say to yourself becomes your reality, doesn't it? And last but not least, why don't we journey down the road of joy more often? And I thought I'd share some of the favorite things that I use to kind of become more joyful. One of them is to practice kindness. You know, I really, really believe that if you can be kind every day, as often as possible, you're sharing a wonderful message for peace and harmony in the universe. What do you think? I think it's a wonderful thing to do. We don't have to judge everyone and everything every day. How about catching somebody doing something right? Why don't you run up to them and say, God, that was right. That was the best. I'm going to write that down. You put your laundry away very well today. Whatever it is, even if it's simple, it doesn't matter. How about live with passion? Use passion in your life. You know, I grew up in this wonderfully passionate Italian family. And I'd like to share some of the things that I learned growing up. You see, they didn't just say it was delicious. You had to get into it. You had to use everything. You had to say it with gusto. And you used body language and your hands. One of my favorites was è delizioso. And you know, when you say è delizioso, you do this. So let's all try that together. Ready? We're going to say è delizioso. Are you ready? On the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. È delizioso. And how about mind your own business? Something quite different if you do it in Italian. It has much more drama. You know, you can always say, mind your own business. But, fatti tuoi. Now this means business. And you see, you got to put the whole thing in. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Fatti tuoi. All right, now, on the count of 3. You think you can say it? All right, I think you got to get up to do this one. Okay. Remember, body language. All right, here we go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Fatti tuoi. Very good, very good. And I love you. I love you. I love you. That's fine. But ti voglio bene. Now we're doing something. We're doing it with heart. See? You got to show that your heart is here. And ti voglio bene. It's always a look, you know. Are you ready? Okay. On the count of 3, we're going to say ti voglio bene. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ti voglio bene. Ah. Does this mean everybody has to be Italian? No. But it would be good. No. I think everybody has some of that in all of their cultures, don't they? But I think we've forgotten them. And maybe it's time to bring some of that back. How about savor feelings of abundance? Keep a joy journal. Write in it daily. Write those things that you feel good about, because we're certainly good about describing what we feel bad about. We have a mind that is in constant wanting. You really need to write down what you have, and then you'll have a lot more gratitude in your life. And joy journals are excellent. You can review them at the end of the week. Keep wonder and surprise in your daily life. You know, even if it's a small bug. Grandchildren are good at pointing out tiny, what you think is insignificant little beings. When my granddaughter comes over every once in a while, she'll find the silliest little creatures. She'll come over and say, look at this little dog here. Most of us, get it out of the house! Kill it, for God's sake! Certain amount of cynicism has creeped in, hasn't it? Take a look at that bug. Go, whoa! What a cute little bug. This is part of our kingdom, isn't it? One of God's little creatures. Take a look. Forgive and let go. You know, you don't have to hang out with the person you forgive, but it does you a world of good if you can forgive and let go, because it's exhausting to carry that stuff around, isn't it? It's exhausting. And they're fine. Those people are fine that you're carrying around. They're home. They're shopping. They're in the mall. And you're playing the ping pong match. Let go. Express yourself. Every once in a while, belt something out. Do a karate yell. Those are great. You know, it's wonderful to express yourself. Maybe you get up in the morning and go, ah, ah, ah. What a powerful way to start the day. Most of us get out of bed. I think we should all try that. I want you to put your all into it. Are you ready? I want you to really get in. You got to get into it. You getting into it? You got to feel like I can express my power. Here we go. Ready, set, go. That was great. You look good. You know, putting out sounds like that is not, you know, the appropriate thing in this culture a lot of times, is it? We think, oh, we better put these people away. How about celebrate as often as possible? Doesn't have to be a specific occasion. Most of us are waiting for a birthday. Oh, it's so-and-so's birthday, I'll send them a card. How about a menopause party? Wouldn't that be fun? Hot flash. Or you're done. How about a flu season party? Whatever. Dream it up. It can happen, doesn't it? We don't have to wait for a special occasion. Life is a special occasion every day, isn't it? And inspire yourself. Give yourself a fun alter ego. You know, we get into these boring things every day. We have certain names for ourselves. You know, give yourself an incredible name. Write it after your own name, or tell people at work, this is your new title. You are now the Prince of Pride. Or the Duchess of Doing. Or the Goddess of Guffaws. The Superintendent of everything. The Grand Poobah of the entire universe. The great, universal, galactic, whatever. I mean, think it. You can do it. But most of all, sing the song of life every day. Dance to your own rhythms. That's the wonder in each and every one of us, that we have this incredible, incredible being that wants to come out, that can express itself daily. And I know no other better way to do it than to sing a wonderful song to wrap this whole thing up for us today. And I know that you all have a songbook. And we have a most magnificent piano player. I hear he's just top-notch. So I'd like each and every one of you to open up your little songbook, and we're going to sing the best things in life are free, and they are, aren't they? Hit it! The moon belongs to everyone. The